Hi, everybody. Verl Workman here, CEO of Workman Success Systems. And I have to tell you that I'm fired up. No, I'm excited. Wait, no, that's not the right word. I'm blown away with the opportunity I have today to launch the new book, 8 Ways to Dominate in Any Real Estate Market. And we have the authors with us this morning, Sarah Michelle Bliss and Nate Martinez. Let me do a quick introduction and give you a little background. As I read their book, I have to tell you, I was blown away with the authenticity and the vulnerability and the real tactical ideas and concepts they gave you to be able to dominate in any real estate market. It's so fun right now in this time in our lives to know that there's going to be another real estate shift happening and to be able to have all of the keys to be able to succeed in whatever happens to the market. So first, let me give you a little bit of background on Sarah Michelle. Besides being an amazing individual and a dear friend, Sarah Michelle's a Workman Success Systems master coach, which is no small thing. She's also been in real estate since 1995 and is one of the original founders at RE/MAX Professionals, where she's been part of the Nate Martinez team and organization since they started in 1997. Sarah Michelle has done so many different things. She's coached locally and nationally. She's influenced so many people. She's developed and trained and created programs to help agents and brokers alike. And it's just so fun to have her here with us. Sarah Michelle, thank you so much for being here. And I can't wait to hear your thoughts on what inspired the book.
Thank you, Verl. It's a pleasure. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, it's going to be a fun conversation today. And the one and only Nate Martinez is also with us. Now, Nate is also a Workman Success Master Coach and works with so many brokers and owners and from every single brand around the country on helping them develop and build their brokerages. And it's so fun to watch the success of Nate's clients. They just not only love him, but they love applying the tactics and the skills and the processes that he teaches as he coaches them. One thing I've learned about Nate over the years is Nate is a genuine real article when it comes to networking. I don't think I've ever been to an event or shared a stage or walked down the hall at a convention with Nate where I didn't feel like I was going down the hall with some kind of a celebrity or rock star, because everybody absolutely loves him. And it's because of who he is in his heart. He genuinely cares about the people in his life. He was a co-owner of RE/MAX Professionals, founded in 2001. They have 5 Valley locations. He has he's a huge believer in education. I think he's been hiring me to speak for his offices for almost 20 years. I've been going out doing things with RE/MAX Professionals. So we have a long time relationship. And I know he's always constantly looking for and bringing in the best presenters and speakers and trainers to create ongoing development for his offices. When he's not working, he loves spending time with his awesome wife, Tanya, and his 2 daughters, Brandy and Mila, and Nate Jr., and his fairly new grandson. And I know Nate didn't look old enough to be a grandpa, but he is. He's a grandpa. And he's got a granddaughter, Hayden, and his granddaughter is adorable. I don't know why I said grandson, Nate. I know who she is, and she's so cute. I love seeing her pictures. So Nate's a sports enthusiast. Whenever I can't get a hold of Nate, I either know he's listing some massive mansion or he's out playing golf. Those are the 2 things that he loves to do. And so welcome, Nate. Glad you're here, bud.
He also acquired a step grandson when Nathan got married to Ashley. So he's got 3 grandbabies now.
What's up with that, Nate?
I'm trying to catch you, buddy.
Trying to catch up to Verl.
You know what? It's not an easy task to catch up with the Workman clan. We show up to dinner with my family and we're 19. And that's just with kids and grandkids, right? And their spouses. So it's hard to get a table anywhere. We have to bring one with us wherever we go. So let's talk about the 8 Ways to Dominate book. What inspired the book? Why write a book at this time in your lives?
Well, for me, this has been a lifelong dream that I've wanted to write a book, and to be a published author, and to get to do it with one of my best friends, my mentor, my business partner, has just been mind-blowingly cool. So, and Nate and I've worked together for almost 25 years, and some of the stories, getting to kind of memorialize his journey in real estate and talking about the things he was doing. Because I always say that Nate's a pioneer in real estate, right? That's kind of my phrase for him, my term. And, to get to memorialize where he started out as a baby realtor and graduate to who he is today has just been such an honor to get to do that with him. So Nate, jump in when you have something to add, but we were doing 3-hour business planning workshops as opening up our book of business and sharing that with other agents to come in and learn about, what we did to have the team and grow the team. And then the idea kind of spurred from there, is that, hey, we should take this, what we're teaching in this workshop, and make it a book. And then it sort of evolved from there. So
yeah, it's been a long journey. It's something that Sarah's really spearheaded. It wasn't something I really wanted to do. You know, I've talked about it. People said, when are you going to write a book? It was not really my drive to do so, but Sarah just kept pushing, and here we are. So we're really excited to share. We think there's a lot of things in the book that are going to help people, and that's key. That's what you're all about, Burl. That's what we're about. And I think when we can share simple ways, right, to dominate any real estate market, it boils down to just a few simple things that you do consistently.
yeah, and if you think about it, we opened up, our first day as a brokerage was 9/11. And so we write extensively about what that experience was like, and how did we still, Nate and his, at the time, his partner, Frank Russo, how did we stay moving forward when the world was crumbling around us? And, we've managed to weather all kinds of markets. I mean, we went through the, 9/11, and we had the boom, right? Working with the investors, and then the crash, and how did we survive the REO market, and just the leadership that we surrounded ourselves with. And so getting to document all of that. And I think sharing that tells people that, yes, there's a shift coming. Everyone's, loving this right now, right? But there's a shift coming. And if you look at history, there always is, right? And so the 8 steps that we write about are tried and true. If you do these things, like Nate said, at a high level of consistency, no matter what is happening in the market, you'll have success.
So we're on with Sarah Michelle Bliss and Nate Martinez, talking about their new book, 8 Ways to Dominate in Any Real Estate Market. We're excited to be here. Nate, as you answer my next question, I'm going to ask you to lean into your mic a little bit, because your volume's a little bit low, and I want everybody to hear your words of wisdom. So Nate, why should anybody read your book or listen to you?
Well, I think, again, we're putting our heart out there. We're putting everything that we've learned along the way. And what's quite interesting in real estate, being in real estate 35 years, is the same information keeps going through. So people really need to go in and not try to reinvent themselves, but just follow a path. And I think we've created a clear path for success. And it's an easy read. It can be read fairly quickly. And then, what I'm even more excited about is the second book, our journal, that really, I think, is going to change the way people do real estate and run their business going forward.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. We'll talk more about that in just a minute. What have you done in your career that gives you credibility to write a book about 8 ways to dominate? Have you actually dominated in any market?
Yeah,
always.
I've had some pretty good success. We have the pleasure of our team selling over 6,000 homes. Our real estate company is probably nearing 50,000 transactions. So, we've been around the block. Like Sarah said, when the market was crashing, Frank and I had to go out and sell some of our investment homes just to keep the real estate company going. It was bad. So I think when you fall down, like when we opened up and we had our first meeting on 9/11, we had about 12 really strong agents that were going to follow us to our new venture, Remax Professionals. Well, once 9/11 hit, not one of those people came. It was chaos. Everybody's transactions were canceling. We'd signed this major lease on a building, and you're looking at yourself like, wow, did I do the wrong thing? Later on, as we were expanding, we were growing our office and acquiring different brokerages, and the market crashed again. And that was tough. You know what I mean? We've seen a lot of people lose their business. A few people lost their lives. It was some tough times. And for us to navigate through that and be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel, I think is important, because I think all real estate agents fail, right? They go on a listing appointment, they don't get the listing. They go on another one, they don't get the listing. They're behind on their house payment now. So those are small failures, but we've had the small and the big, and I think
Huge.
the light at the end of the tunnel is like, hey, you just stay focused and you keep moving forward. You surround yourself. I'm a lifelong learner. I've been going to seminars for 30 plus years. And, I got 4 on the schedule coming up in the next 4 months. So I'm excited. I've never felt like I worked, Burl. I mean, I feel like I wake up every morning and I want to run to work. I don't think it's a job. And if you love what you do, I guess you really don't have a job.
I feel the same way.
Yeah, I love that about both of you. One of the things that I think is interesting is that you're not only successful in your brokerage, but I mean, you're running a 7-figure team as well. And so being able to run a multiple office brokerage, have a team that's producing at a high level and train everybody and develop and grow. I think that as people read the book and they hear about some of your successes, I don't remember, you have to remind me your best year, even during the REO market, how many units were you selling a year? How many families were you serving?
Well, REO, we did, what was it, 689 transactions in the best REO year.
I mean, in a year. I want everyone who's like in the audience to think about that. Like,
yeah.
What kind of systems and process and programs did you have to have in place?
It was a machine. I think we had 18 people on the team. We had multiple field people that were just checking properties, because you remember houses were being stripped, right? Copper was being taken, ACs were being taken. I was personally in charge of negotiating contracts. And so I think I calculated I probably negotiated over 2,000 contracts that particular year. We had two people running just the escrows. I was just running the contracts. And then we had multiple people doing BPOs. That was their whole job that they did all day long, was just to do broker price opinions. We had listing managers. I mean, it was crazy. So we used to joke that we needed catheters, right, to feeding tubes, because we couldn't leave our desks, because it was just it was crazy. But yeah, I mean, we did 600, and then the prior to that, Nate, correct me if I'm wrong, I think our best year we did as a team was 325 transactions prior to the REO market. So
it was a different team. Yeah, we were doing 300 transactions for several years. That was kind of our our sweet spot. And what was really interesting, we had everything dialed in. You know, you have all the systems, you had all the follow-up. And I cleaned out a storage not too long ago. I have our policy procedures manual. It's in one of these huge binders, and it just details everything. And then we had all our marketing. I found another binder that had surveys. We would survey people. Now, this is 20 years ago. And we would survey 30 days after listing. If you remember back then, listings sometimes took 6 months to sell, not 6 minutes, right? So, we would start surveying at 30 days because we wanted to know if there was a challenge with our sellers. So we had all these great systems. They were being implemented. We had a great team. Then, as Sarah said, we had to change when the REO. I did not want to do REOs. I fought getting into the REO business. And then at the time, my business partner, Frank, I was down to single digit listings, and he was nearing 100. And I thought, well, maybe we want to do this REO thing. So, I think we've been a good chameleon in moving with the market. One of the quotes that I always used to say early on is like Wayne Gretzky said, he wants to skate to where the puck's at, not to where it's been. And we're always trying to skate to where the business is and making sure that we're moving forward and not looking backwards too much.
Yeah, I love that way. I used to quote that way. I used to have a slide for that Wayne Gretzky quote. Everyone else skates to where the puck is. I skate to where the puck is going and get there ahead of it. And I think that concept in business is critical. So how'd you come up with the 8 ways to dominate title? Why 8? Why not 4? Or why not 34? I think you could come up with 60 ways to dominate. Nate, why 8?
Well, 8's my favorite number. My son always wore 8 on his jerseys, Nate and 8. And then Sarah, we had 10, I think, or we had 7, and we kind of played around with it. We came up with 8. I know Sarah will talk about abundance.
Yeah, number 8, it's the infinity symbol. So, and it's also 8 in numerology is for abundance. So makes sense, right? His favorite number and abundance, right? Because that's what we're all talking about. And dominating is having a rich life. So.
Yeah. So is it all about the money for you, Sarah Michelle? Is it just, do you want to make more money?
No, it's not about the money, but it's about what that does for your quality of life, and how, if you have enough, you can give back and you make a difference in your community, you make a difference with your family. We've raised over $500,000 in our local community for the Phoenix Children's Hospital, which is a CMN, part of the CMN network. So, it gives me great pride every closing I have that $25 goes to PCH. And so it's not just about the money, it's about what I can do as an individual that makes a difference in the world.
No, we're all add to that. One of the things that I think I've been blessed with is to have people come into our organization. People join our team, brand new, never been in real estate before, and then grow beyond our team to start their own team. I think we have 4 team members that actually own real estate companies today. So, when you look at how you help one human, that helps their family, that helps all the families that they help, it's just this, I'm almost getting emotional talking about watching people grow. We have an agent on our team, and because of like Workman Systems and everything that we learned, through coaching, and we go back and coach our team. Steve was a school teacher his entire life, right? Since college until he retired. And when he retired, I think his best year, he was earning in his $50,000 range, low 50s, and that's a whole career, and all that he's given back to all the kids that he taught in elementary. But today, Steve's been on vacation for a month and a half now. He goes back to Michigan to a little lake house he has, him and his wife. But he's almost made $100,000 in the first 6 months of the year. I mean, just under 100,000. He takes 4 months off a year. That's what excites me, to help somebody go from a 30-year career as an educator, and then showing them the steps on how to build a real estate business. Those are the things that warm my heart. That's why I do what I do. That's why we own a real estate company. And that's why we coach. It's all about giving back to others.
And that's why we wrote the book, right? Is to share all that knowledge and that experience, and to make it simple, right? People want to make real estate hard, right? They want to make it rocket science, and to justify how much money you can make in it. And, Steve's a great example of fantastic leadership, taking what Nate has taught him, and it's life-changing.
What I think is interesting is so many people come onto these shows and they want to talk about all their success, all the things they do and all the things they've done. And we're listening to great leaders here talk about the joy they get from watching their team members succeed and grow. A lot of team leaders, Nate, when somebody leaves and they build their own brokerage and compete with them, they never talk to them again. And you're saying, you call them your brokerage children. You've had children in the brokerages that go out and open their own brokerages, and you love to see their success. I think that says a lot about your mindset, and the way you think about life is coming from a place of abundance. There's enough business out there for everybody. And if you develop great people, then everybody will do well. It's not going to be at somebody else's expense. And I really appreciate that. So go ahead, Nate.
Like that, when I was younger, I felt betrayed and so forth, but it didn't take me long to get over that, right? It was like, how could they leave? How can they do that? But then when you sit back and you watch what energy you put into somebody, when you have a team and you have great people in your team, you have to let them grow. You want them to spring out and do their own thing. And so as I've gotten older, I embraced it. I talked to several of the people that used to work for us all the time. And sometimes I call them for advice. Sometimes they call me for advice. But, it's all good, right? We're only on this earth a short time, and we just got to make it better.
And there's
so we're here with Sarah Michelle Bliss. I just want to let everybody know who we got here today. We have Sarah Michelle Bliss, Nate Martinez, who just wrote the book, 8 Ways to Dominate in Any Real Estate Market. And they're sharing their insights on not only their background and history, but what inspired the book. Sarah Michelle, can I ask you a quick question? And that is, what is it that you wanted readers to come away from? So when they read the book, I can tell you what I got from it, but I want to hear what your intention was.
Action. Take action. Apply the 8 steps and take action. You can go to any seminar, you can take any class, you can watch webinars, podcasts, read thousands of books, but none of it matters if you don't take action. And so that's what I would like for people to do, is take what we've learned, learn from our mistakes, right? Because we talk about our mistakes. The book is very transparent and authentic, and learn from that, right? And apply the basics. There are no new ideas when it comes to sales. Sales is sales, right? Whether you're selling widgets, pharmaceuticals, real estate, doesn't matter. Sales is sales, and it's all about the relationship. And so we talk a lot about that in the book. But at the end of the day, when you finish it, the last page, go take action. So that's what I would want.
So I love that. Because I know you both so well, when I read the book, there were some things that I was blown away by, and that is the humble beginnings. A lot of people think, oh, well, that's Nate Martinez and Sarah Michelle. They have 5 offices and they make millions of dollars and they have all this investment real estate. The reality is, Nate, you didn't grow up in $1 million home on a golf course, did you?
No, no, we did not.
No, we both had very humble beginnings.
And I think that's the American dream, is that anybody from anywhere can create great wealth, and they can also create great lives for themselves and their families if they apply the principles taught in the 8 Ways book. I noticed that you have kind of a coaching flavor to your book and your chapters. It's like you tell a story, you teach a concept, you give an example of how it works. and then you create actionable items that you want people to do. Tell us a little bit about the journal and how how users and readers can apply what's in the 8 ways to create abundance journal.
Nate, you want to take that?
Sure. Everything that, we learned a lot from the Workman system, that wisdom of the crowd and having a journal, many agents will do a business plan, right? And then they'll put it in a drawer and never look at it again. Many agents will do a marketing plan. Some will never do one, right? So we've taken every piece of the real estate journey from business planning, marketing, daily accountability, our will of life. It encompasses everything an agent needs to do 365 days a year. And this journal is thick, it's 720 pages,
185.
And
It keeps growing. It's growing.
Well, and there was some debates between Sarah and I. She said, well, it's too thick. It's 5 days. I said, but you can't really have a 5-day journal because some realtors work 6 days, some work 7. We have to have a day for every day that somebody works or plans. So I think the concept, and it's in all the different books out there. Starting your morning right. Going through and just planning your day. When I plan my day, when I visualize the day, I have a great day. If I get up and I let the world take over, the day's chaotic all day. So I think we kind of just take every aspect of, affirmations, talking about our wins, and I like to think about every day we should grade our day. Was it a 10 day? Was it a 7? What is it? We have a little score to just find out, are we moving forward? So I'm so excited. I can't wait to get ours because I want to use it. And I've been using pages of our journal just to play with it and change it. And that thing has gone through so many changes. And I think the final product is awesome. So.
And we solicited feedback from agents who actually used it, right? So not just us. And, it incorporates the 3-2-1 concept, right? Who's your top 3 people you're going to reach out today? Where are you going to market today? What's your intention for today? There's tracking for the appointments you have, your closings you have. And then Nate wanted a box that said, did you win the day today? Yes or no? And so, I think for agents to be able to check that off and say, yes, I won the day. I'm super excited. If it's one spot, it's your, in my mind, it's kind of your annual, it's your plan, but it's kind of like your Bible, right? You're going to take it everywhere with you and, track your day, put all your stuff in there. There's a spot for your top 50. So, you're sitting at an open house, pull out your book, there's your top 50, right? And you make your calls to your people. So there is nothing, based on my research, there is nothing on the market like this. So I feel like it's a super game changer for real estate agents.
Well, I'm so excited for everybody to get it in their hands and be able to read it. I love that you're doing action items. I love the journal. I love that you have a measurement of whether or not you won the day. I think a lot of people don't know how to measure a win in their day because they don't have clearly defined things like what they're trying to accomplish. We follow a lot of these principles in the way that we teach and coach at Workman. And I've learned that if you clearly define a win when you get up in the morning, then at the end of the day, it's an easy answer whether or not you won the day. And if you didn't, you get up tomorrow and you get another shot at it. And journaling and watching and writing those things down as you go through is oftentimes the difference maker between average and exceptional. It's very small things that make big differences. Have you found that to be true, Nate?
Yeah, definitely so. I always like to tell agents that they need to practice, they need to role play, they need to do everything. We just finished the NBA finals and almost were there,
Oh,
those players practiced every single day. They've been practicing every single day since they were little boys. And, real estate agents got to understand that it is the same thing over and over and over again that creates mastery. And that's what it takes, right? It's just doing the same thing over and over. That's why I think the journal's going to give them an opportunity to do the same thing over and over and over again and document their process.
And one of my favorite quotes is Bruce Lee. He said he did not fear a man who knew 10,000 kicks. He feared the man who had practiced one kick 10,000 times. And that's kind of what the journal is too, is, over and over again, nothing new in this industry, right? But it's doing the basics at a high level.
Sarah, I'm sure that's one of the 365 quotes in the journal.
It is in there. Yes, it is.
The journal's full of great nuggets. And it's funny, there's a lot of them I'd never heard before. And so your book is really well researched, and the things that have inspired you over the years. I love that you share those things that like resonated with you as you kept those quotes over the years. So Nate, I teach my kids not to do drugs, but you invented a new drug in this book called Hopium. You got to tell me about that.
So, I mean, as being a long life learner, I would watch our agents and myself and my team try to adapt all the lead gen out there, right? And, and I love our business because we've been direct mail, very focused attempts, past clients, from day one, we always focus on our past clients. So when all these leads started coming out, I started to get excited about it. You were coaching me at the time. I went out and got a new website, and I really visualized that I was going to sell 100 extra buyer sites just because I'm going all in on lead gen. Well, that's hard. That's a hard road, and and there's people that do real well at it. But what I found in last year's statistics, there were 100 million leads generated. I want you to think about that. 100 million online leads generated that we've all paid for. We're all calling, we're all cultivating, but yet, in the best year ever, we're like 6 million transactions. So there's an overload of leads, and I think when people are buying leads, they're hoping something is going to happen. It's not a guarantee. They jump in, and a lot of agents aren't prepared. They can spend $1,000, $5,000 on some of these lead generators, but if they don't have a really clear plan on how to follow up, because that's what it's all about, the ABCs of follow up, right? It's got to be done right. But I think people are hoping, like I did, I thought, hey, I'll spend the money on the website and our team will do the calls and we're going to do an extra 100 deals. Well, really, that's hopium. I was getting addicted to an outcome that may or may not happen because it's so easy to give our credit card to somebody, right? And that credit card's going to, a lead dealer, a drug dealer, right? That is trying to take money from us and give to them, right? So I'm not against lead generation, but you have to understand if you're going to get in that game, what the competition is. And I think, Verl, if people knew that there were 100 million leads being sold and the chance of only 6 million going to close, and that's in the best year ever, it is a big number, so.
Yeah, it's a huge number. So Sarah Michelle, what do you think about this hopium concept? You have to show everybody the drawing you have of it, because I think it's really cool. Like, hold it up and let's see it.
I'll show it. So this was Nate's vision as someone being addicted to hopium and it being a drug, right? So this was actually drawn by one of our agents, Monica Collins, who's super talented. So this will be actually in the book. And I think this is going to be an industry changer, right? The word hopium. So
that's buying into the bull crap. It's getting excited about things that aren't really tested. And the messaging behind that is you have a system for it, test it, make sure that it works before you spend a whole bunch of money, and stay with. One of the things that I got from the book was that you've done the same things consistently throughout your careers in real estate, and they continue to pay a consistent return. Nate, you talked about direct mail and calling your sphere and doing 3-2-1s, these consistencies that you've done. And then the other things you'll test, but you don't go all in on them and think that that's going to change your life and your business. You stay with what's working, and then you test new things. And have you found that there's different seasons for success of different programs? Like some things work for a while and they don't work for another period of time?
Well, sometimes things are working so well, you quit doing them for no reason because you find another shiny object that you go after. And then I used to always ask the team, well, why aren't we doing this? And some people would say, what are you talking about? Since I work here, we've never done that. So you have to make sure that things that work don't fall off. I don't know why. Maybe it's just me, right? When I get into this real estate business, it turned out to be very easy. We work hard, but at the end of the day, I find real estate sales to be easy. And, I don't have a college degree, I just came from the school of hard knocks and worked hard. And as long as you work hard in real estate, I think people, I spoke yesterday at a meeting and everybody was raising their hand. What about iBuyers? What about this? And all these disruptors in the business. And I'm like, well, they're there. But we just need to keep our head down doing what we do right. So, again, doing direct mail I don't think it's ever not worked, right? And even after we did it heavily. And then when the REO market came, that was, so fragmented with all the people losing their homes and investors, out of town owners. We kind of stopped again. But then after that market repaired, we got right back into direct mail again and started building. A couple of the areas that we do direct mail in, we dominate those markets, and it's easy when somebody calls you up, this just happened. And they called me up and said, "Hey, we've been getting your mailing pieces for a few years, and we're up in Seattle. Can we send you our keys? Will you go do an analysis? We want you to list and sell the house." There was no listing presentation. There was no competition. It was just here. You know what I mean? And it went in escrow in about 4 days after it hit the market, and that was probably a delayed, so we can make sure we get the right buyer for our client.
What was the price on that house, Nate?
$700. We sold it above market.
Wow. Well, what an incredible conversation as we talk about 8 ways to dominate in any real estate market with Nate Martinez, Sarah Michelle Bliss. Sarah Michelle, tell us where we can get the book.
So it will be available on Amazon, both for print and Kindle, on August 3rd. We're going to discount the price on Kindle for 99 cents for the first 48 hours. And then you can, 99 cents, right? For Kindle. So for the Kindle copy, yes. So they'll be available August 3rd. And if you're in the Phoenix market, Nate and I will be doing an in-person book signing on August 13th. So that'll be available. Both the journal and the primary book will be available. And you can just go right to our website, either spell out 8 or the number 8, ways to dominate any real estate market.com.
On behalf of Workman Success Systems, I have to tell you that I'm proud of both of you. I'm excited for everybody else to see what I already know, and that's how great you both are. And thank you so much for sharing your insights and wisdom. And when I think of the 8 ways to dominate, not everybody wants to dominate, but I want you to dominate with your life. I want you to dominate with a happy family. I want you to dominate with having balance and being able to see the world and do the things that inspire you so you can make a difference in other people's lives, just like Nate and Sarah Michelle have done with us today. So thank you for being here. Congratulations on the new book. I want everybody to go right now to Amazon and get that book, download it, buy it, get it ordered, and let's help make this one of the best books ever sold in real estate. Thanks, everybody.
Awesome. And Verl, thank you for writing the forward for us. We really appreciate you contributing to it as well. So thank you.
It was my pleasure. My pleasure.
Thank you, bro.